Starts off. Okay, Eric, this is probably a nicer experience than last year. And we obviously hit you up Wednesday about the issues, not going all the way back to Nolan Richardson's days. How good was it to have, what I looked like a pretty complete performance in here?
Yeah, I thought, defensively we were really good. It's it's hard on student athletes when you're used to the rhythm of two games and then finals. I mean, we did have some guys that they were in study hall quite a bit last week. And so it's a game that across college basketball, you kind of got to keep an eye on just because of all the stuff that's going on and a long layoff. But I thought we responded really well. I thought we played really, really hard against a really good team. I thought we respected Bradley, had great week of preparation. And then Jordan Walsh just, keeps getting better. You can see his confidence continue to grow with each game. And last two games, the energy that he's played with has been really, really, on another level.
That was a rough presser in here last year. How much better a feeling is this to have this kind of performance in a place where Arkansas, frankly, has struggled for a long time?
Yeah, I mean, last year, quite frankly, we stunk, and that's why we've had different players get up and speak the last 2 days about, the four guys that were here all got an opportunity to speak to the team about what the experience was like. Post game last year, Cade talked about how that game against Hofstra here, we talked, it was part of even on Selection Sunday, it was being discussed. So I think the four guys, they did a great job of giving the new players a message that we wanted to perform much better here in front of an incredible fan base. Because last night going to dinner at Benihana's, the fans here really recognize our guys. And I think they wanted to, play well and play hard and represent.
With about 17 left, they came back but didn't go back in. Can you give us an update on what happened with him?
I mean, he got taped at halftime, and then the tape felt a little uncomfortable, and I just wasn't going to, didn't feel the need to really put him back in when he got taped up at halftime, and then left to get retaped. And then by that point, I just felt like, and I discussed it on the bench quite a bit with Coach Smart because of his experience. Coach Arginal, the three of us talked about it, and with the flow and the way the game was going, just felt like, there wasn't a need to probably put him back in at that juncture. No. Yes. Yeah.
Eric, I asked Jordan this. I said, aside from confidence, confidence is such a big part of a player's game, but aside from confidence, what's like the biggest difference you're seeing in Jordan lately?
I just think he's playing with great confidence. I think number one. I think number two, he's making threes with his feet set. He's not taking a large volume of threes, but the quality of shot selection that Jordan has been really, really good. And then I think, in Europe, he learned going to the basket, to finish through contact and to go strong to the cup. I think he's really improved in that area too, of going with some authority to the rim.
Homecoming of sorts for Devo, and he was all over the place. 7.7 boards, 5 steals. What do you think about his impact today?
I thought he was unbelievable. Just his effort, his energy, how he attacked both passes, and 5 steals it's a lot of steals for one player. So I thought, and obviously his defensive rebounding, he led us in defensive rebound. He led us in steals, knocked down a 3, second on the team in assists. So I thought his contribution was really at a high level.
Most back-to-back games where your team is dominating the hustle plays, blocks, steals, turning turnovers into points. What has been the key to that? Because it's really kind of been where maybe the thing that stands out the most in these last 2 games.
Yeah, I think that we've done a great job of covering for each other. If somebody gets beat off the dribble, we did not want to give up threes tonight. We held them to 4. The goal was 5 or less. So a really, really great job of respecting their ability to shoot threes. They execute really well. They set flares for number 10. I thought we did a great job of going over the top of those. I thought we were really physical. I thought our physicality, our length, all those things, and then being aggressive defensively is our DNA. And 16, steal, it's a lot of steals. And I think last year's team caused maybe 20 turnovers, maybe 3 times. We've already had 4 and still have 2 more non-conference games, 1 before SEC play. So I think that the aggressiveness defensively is maybe a little bit ahead of where we thought we would be at this time of the year.
Jordan talked about hearing the roar of the crowd when he fouled out. Just what do you make of the fans down here that don't get to see you guys very often now that you've seen this arena kind of at its best?
Yeah, I mean, we actually showed our team earlier today, Adriel Bailey's block, when we played Valpo, the first year that I was here, and you could feel the passion on that block even through a video. Our guys they were really excited to play here. Tonight, I thought that the anticipation, the excitement level tonight was different than last year. I think that the guys were really excited to play this game. They were talking about it. And I think their effort tonight was really good. And the fans deserved it. I mean, that's an incredible showing, by the fans here.
Coach, according to Andrew Hutchison of Best of Arkansas Sports, apparently there were 3 flagrant fouls and 2 technicals in the half. And I was just asking, have you ever seen that in any part of a game that you ever been a part of? And what do you think was the reasoning behind a lot of maybe those aggressive plays?
I thought it was a great ref game. I really did. I thought the refs did a phenomenal job. I think 2 teams were excited to play the game. I think, we are a physical team. Jordan knows, and Coach Smart addressed the team. He took the floor to address some of that stuff after the game. And, we don't want the head tap. I mean, that's something, because we made a great play and then we gave it right back with 2 free throws. And, Makai's technical. We can't have that in that juncture of the game. And so we'll be able to watch that video of some of those things and try to correct it. There's an emphasis this year on things like tapping the head and so on and so forth. And, that's an area that we have to get more mature in. But it was not, I thought the referees, like I said, I thought the whole crew was phenomenal tonight.
Eric, in past years at this point in the season, I could have just drawn names out of a hat and had as good of a chance of getting your lineup as anybody else. And this year it's been very, solid, pretty consistent all the way through. What's the difference between those first 3 years and this year and that stability?
Yeah, I mean, I think that, with consistency, roles can play out. And I mean, if you look at our record, and then, we lost by 3 points, in the middle of 3 games in 3 nights. A lot of national publications have called that the best college game of the year. Our loss against Creighton, we scored at a high level. We didn't defend like I thought we could. And so when you play with great consistency, your lineup's going to stay consistent. And again, we lost that game, and Creighton's been without their big center. And when he plays, they're a different team. So we lost to a really good team that was highly ranked at the time. And we didn't feel a need to panic and change things up. And, but we have no idea how the season plays out. Obviously, Trevin Brazil, not going to play this year. He was an integral part of what we did that first collection of games. And, last year, because we were watching the Alabama Gonzaga game, and last year at this time, I had no idea that Trey Wade was going to end up guarding Drew Timme. And we were going to ask him to front him and do it for 30+ minutes. And that's what ended up happening. So roles are, we want to keep an open mind and practice. Guys that are working, we want to try to, guys that are getting shots up on their own, you want to reward stuff like that as much as possible. So how it unfolds, I have no idea, but through this sample size, the group that's been playing a lot has done a good job.
Coach, go back to the flagrant foul on Jordan where he fouled out. Could you tell what happened there? We couldn't tell. It was on the other end of the court.
I'm not sure. I
Okay.
didn't get a true I
No
didn't really ask.
explanation.
I just wanted to know what the deal was. And okay, well, they get to shoot and get the ball back. Thanks.
Gotcha. And then with Jordan, was there ever a moment where you could tell the light switched on for him, like at practice or in a game or something?
Not really. I mean, I think that he's been consistent, you know, in his work. He's watched a lot of film. I just think that, you know, certain times, you know, kind of, hey, this is what I got to do to stay on the floor. This is how my role can expand. And, you know, I thought he played really good in Hawaii. And then the last 2 games, he's played phenomenal. And this, you know, how he played tonight, we want him to continue because we're a better team when he plays this like as good as he has the last 2 games.
Coach, with a young team, a lot of times the biggest growth is with the guys without the ball in their hands on the offensive end. Can you kind of touch on kind of where these guys have grown in that area?
Yeah, I think we still have a lot of growth when the plays break down of what we call our open offense of we want to cut a little bit more. We have some Princeton principles that you know, that we're not doing quite at the level that we want. You know, our pairs action on the weak side's got to get better. We've got to slip a little bit better when we set pairs actions on the strong side. Our split game is not meaning I pass to you and go screen for Mike Kaywood. That action's got to get a lot better because one guy's supposed to cut to the rim and the other pops back. And sometimes we pass and stand too much. So, but we have practice time that we'll continue to prove on that. And, not where we want to be, but getting better.
I had a two-parter if that's okay. One on each side of the ball. You know, Bradley was only averaging like 13.3 turnovers. You turned him over 27 times, 37-9 advantage points off turnovers. What was the reason you guys doubled their turnovers based on, you know, what they've done all year?
Yeah, I mean, I hope that you know, defensive tenacity, active hands. We've talked a lot about it, trying to attack the dribble when the ball hits the floor and is coming back up to the palm of the ball handler to try to be really aggressive with your digs on the dribble. And then, you know, I think the next part of that is how do you get deflections when your man passes? I think we've always been a pretty good team jumping in passing lanes, but I think we've added attacking the dribble a little bit better and trying to attack the pass with deflection. And then I mean, when you're long and athletic, that certainly helps.
Even without Nick for most of the second half, you had very balanced scoring. 3 guys, I think between 18 and 15, Devo scored pretty well. What do you think about your balanced scoring today? And then really what you've been able to do all season, even without Trev and without Nick, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I think the guys are feeling comfortable with some offensive roles, and I think we do have a lot of guys that can score in a variety of ways, and certainly when you have a player go 7 to 7 and runs the floor like Jordan did and attacks the rim like he did, it opens things up, you know, for other guys. And tonight was his night. You know, Ricky continues to be a guy that does a great job of drawing free throws attempted, as does Anthony Black. Thanks, guys. Mine now.